Hey, how's it going? This is Kenny with Keller Williams Realty. Thanks for tuning in. This week, I want to talk a little bit about the whole relationship between landlords and renters. I heard an interesting podcast yesterday. I was listening to the Bigger Pockets podcast, and if you haven't been to Bigger Pockets, if you're like an investor, landlord, anything to do with investing in real estate, it's a good place to get a lot of information. They have a big community of people that are doing it, from agents to lenders to investors all the way around. So they were just taking comments off of their podcast, and somebody asked, they I can't remember what the question was, but they were basically saying the landlords are messing everything up for everybody else, because the landlords, the investors, they mess up for regular homeowners, people that are going to be owner occupants, and they pay way too much and they drive the prices up. That was basically what it says, that investors drive the prices up. This is true, as we well know. These cash offers and investors, that is definitely true. Um, but they went on to kind of draw out what that would look like. They said, what if we didn't have investors? What if we didn't let people invest in houses and buy these houses and drive the prices up? What would happen? So it was interesting, kind of what they said. So they were saying, like if we didn't have people that was investing in houses, then there wouldn't be a private rental market. People wouldn't be able to rent houses. They would have to go to like apartments or whatever it was. And then, maybe the government would take on, all of the people that, can't qualify for a mortgage or whatever, or just want to rent a house, that wouldn't be able to do that unless it was on some kind of government program or whatever. So then I was like, oh man, that would be a lot of people, because a lot of people rent houses. They want to rent a house instead of apartment, have a little bit more space and everything like that. And so, what if we didn't have that? Then it might be more public housing, and it might be more government, government having to do that, and taxpayers having to take that on. And so, it kind of opened a whole different can of worms. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on, what are your thoughts on corporate investors and stuff buying houses for investment properties, and do you think there's a way to make it more competitive for single family, for these first time home buyers and step up buyers and all these people that, excuse me, that maybe can't compete with the investors? So it was definitely a good point, but the way it was kind of laid out, if we didn't have rental houses in the private market, that would open up a whole nother problem. So it's kind of hard to win. I always say, nothing exists in a vacuum. It's like, okay, you can't isolate one thing to fix it, because it's always going to have a cause and effect to something else. But I just thought that was pretty interesting. But if you want to leave a comment, or if you want to, start a conversation based on that, I thought it was pretty interesting. But anyways, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking me out, and have a great week.